see a couple of visual techniques that we do, and then how we learn them. Okay, listen to my command, please. So this is what we call their set position. Whenever we say go to set, this is exactly the way they go. Go back to standby. So I can say the same thing, only I'm going to say set instead of clap them up. Band, here we go, and set. And they go that fast as well. So that's part of their process. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do step outs. 150, please, Aaron. 150. Step outs. Any questions? Here we go. Set.
5, 6, and 1.
So we always count at the start of an exercise. They always say and 1 when they change directions. You'll see, hopefully, by looking at any given person, you'll be able to tell what our marching style is. If we have our toes up, if we bend our knee, anything like that, you should be able to see in this position. And ready, halt. And we do that at various tempos, just to get the feet warmed up. Now we're going to do horn move exercise, going to the left first. Any questions? Show me you're halfway with your body and your instrument. Show me halfway to the right with your body and your instrument. And go back to the center. Here we go, set, starting to the left.
5, 6,
So when we're on the field, sometimes we have what's called a 4-count horn move, so they learn how to bring their instrument up to 4 counts. And we practice that both directions. And then the beginning of our show this year is in what we call 3-4, so it's in 3s. So then they learn how to turn their instrument in 3s, and we practice this. You can see if they're doing it right, they all put their instruments in the same spot at the same time. It takes a lot of work. Then here's 2s. And then 1s, I tell them if you blink, you miss it. And then we reverse it. The idea behind this is to get the body stretched all the way around and also move their instruments together. Very nice job, trumpets. Very nice job. Go ahead and stretch out. Very nice job. So that's what we do. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you can clap whatever you want. That's fine. Thank you. And I'd like you to set up the affirming block. Go quickly. Because we have such a big band, when we actually march and play, when we do fundamentals, we have to set up enough room on the field for our whole band to go one way and our whole band to go back. Okay, so this time we're going to just march straight down the field, 8s and 4s without playing. Go ahead and face the woods. Now you're wondering why I say face the woods and they turn that way instead of that way. When we're on the field, the woods are to this way and the church is that way. So if I tell them to turn and face the church, turn and face the church right now. Turn and face the church. Even though there's no church over there, it's in relation to their body when we're on the field. Okay, go back towards the woods, please. And we're going 8s, 4s. I'll tell you the notes. 8s and 4s going down the field. Instruments will stay down. Any questions? Here we go. Set. So now you get to see what they look like moving forward from the side. Instruments stay down. F, E, F. No vocalization. F, E flat. F, I'm telling them the notes as they would play it if they were to do this on the field. F, E, F. You can see that they keep their heel really low to the ground. They lift up nice and tall. Our marching style is pretty much like a walking style, and it's just exaggerated a little bit. It's probably the easiest that they can do. Marking time. And check and adjust. Sometimes they forget it. We had a few people move because they're used to actually playing. Go ahead and keep facing the same way. We're going to go backwards this time. Going backwards, set. So as you can see, this all this happens all the time. So we'll be doing this, and then the guard may be doing something over on the side. The percussion may be warming up over here. We do a lot of things separately. When we bring them back together, we just put everything together so it runs way smoother than trying to teach 5 different things all at the same time in the same place. That was B natural. One more. F, B flat, F. Marking time. go ahead, check and adjust. When I say check and adjust, they check, see if they missed it, they adjust, and they go right back up to the set the way we're supposed to go. And we do this, we spend so much time on this, but we never just go straight forward and straight back. We actually have to work on turning our body, because they're always going to face you or always away from you. So what I'd like you guys to do is go set up the original spot. Go. So that was just forward, backward. Now we're going to show you what we had to do it's called slides. It's when our upper body stays in one position and our lower body slides in one direction or the other. But we set it up to where we start doing it along the yard line. It's a good reference point. It's good for them to see the yard line, line their shoulders up on the yard line, and march to the side. Now what you're about to see took a very long time, but they're pretty good at front row. Once you get here, especially around the pit, just stand off to the side and help people so they don't run into anything. Got it, guys? Okay, here we go. Set. All the splits go to the right. Up lock, turn lock, we're going towards the woods. Any questions? All right, here we go. Set. So this is what's called a slide. So what they do is they practice the forward step now, but their body is completely turned. Now what you can't see is they're in files. They're looking at everybody down the row, and they're actually they're doing a pretty good job. Make sure we get out of the way. Make sure we get out of the way. Help everybody out. Make sure we don't run anything. Make sure you stand out of the way. And we would do this both ways. This took a really, really long time to do, but I think they're handling it really well. This is another thing that we're always going to do on the field. We always put our instruments up, we always turn our bodies, and you'll see in just a second when we play how it applies. So you can see Logan and our techs, when they get on the field, they help out, they give them information, whether they're pushing a shoulder, pulling a shoulder, what they have to do, lift up, moving their feet. We're constantly talking to the students out on the field, trying to make them better. We always give them information both on the move and when they're standing still. Very nice job, guys. Very, very, very nice job. Now, we're not, are you guys able to go the other way? Go back, go back. Go back, come on. Okay, now that's all the stuff that we do as teachers. Like, we tell them, do this. And yes, sir, yes, ma'am, they do what we ask them to do. But a lot of how, or why we're successful, is we give the opportunity to the kids to teach. So I'm just going to show you about 2 minutes worth of what we do when we learn a technique, and then we get to isolate groups, okay? So go into your squads, and I want you to teach forward and backward marching. Just make sure they're doing the proper technique. Make sure their heels low to the ground, they're lifting up the toe. Make sure that when we bend, we hit with the toe and the platform hit the ground, and then we're doing a tie do in the front. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, go now, quickly. Go ahead and start the bet. So a lot of people would go crazy because you're going to hear a lot of chatter on the field, but all they can do is hear their section leader. They get to help each other out. We're only going to show you a couple minutes of this. So this is what we do during band camp. So it's student-led teaching. All of our section leaders, we meet right before we start summer band, and we say, this is what we want you to teach. This is how you teach it, and they do a really, really good job. Go ahead, get going. Don't worry about all this stuff. Section leaders, just go. Start teaching them forward, backward. So a lot of times I'll give them 10, 15 minutes on their own. We'll walk around and staff them, checking to make sure they're giving the right information and that they're finding the mistakes. So this way, when we're on the field and we're actually doing drills, section leaders will get out and say, hey, remember what I taught you when we were alone? We had to do this. We had to make sure our foot's like this. Well, that's what they're doing right now. Some of you may have lost your child. It took you a while to find them, and now you lost them again. That's actually a good thing. When we get into our uniforms, we're out on the field, you don't know exactly where they started. It may take you a couple games, a couple competitions to figure out where your child is, because we all look the same. That's the goal. I'm going to give you 1 minute, section leaders, 1 minute. You notice that they still run back wherever they're going. They have to reset, they go back. We don't waste any time, we just continue to move. And they would practice bringing their instruments up, bringing their instruments down, they do all that. And like I said, at this point in time, we're going around and we're working on everything with you. And Section leaders, go ahead and finish up whatever you're doing. Finish up whatever you're doing, please, and then go back to the block. Aaron, you can stop it. So once they hear the metronome stop, they know to finish up whatever they're doing, they go back to the block. Okay, there are many other things that we do, but the last thing we're going to do for you before we actually perform our portion of the show that we've learned over these past couple of weeks is that we put it all together. So we go inside, we teach them how to sound as good as possible on their instruments, then we come outside and everything that we just learned visually, we try to put with music. And so go ahead and set up F Remington. Set up F Remington. I'm going to give you a water break in just a second, guys. This time we're going to play. Sometimes we play going straight down the field, but today we're going to go ahead and turn our upper bodies and we're going to play going down the field so that you can hear what they sound like at any given moment and see if they look good while they're playing. So they're multitasking right now as best as they possibly can. Go ahead and face the woods, please. Turn your upper bodies towards the front. F Remington down the field. Any questions? Ms. Roy, you have anything? At this point, Ms. Roy would give them any musical instructions that they may have or they may need to be successful on this activity. Okay, here we go. Don't miss the horn moves. When they were done, and we're trying to march forward with the best style we possibly can. Mr. Roy, anything? Go to standby, please.
So, Brock, make sure that you're taking 2 count breaths so we can follow through and we actually get ourselves to stop with us on the argon, right, guys?
Face the woods. Upper body faces towards the front, going backwards. Any questions? Same exact exercise. We have different exercises that we'll do with, this is called the F Remington, or we'll do lift flexibility or whatever. We can put parts of the show to any of this. This is a very good activity to warm them up to what they're about to do. Here we go, going backwards. Tenors, you did a really good job. You did a really good job keeping files.